where the gameplay in these demos is actually gameplay from another map.
Hindi ka natatawa. Ano yung...
Fourth type of demo is the process. The character graduates
Tumboy ata yung sinisinig.
it actually properly plays the map as intended. The fascinating detail about Type 4s is that they are fairly uncommon in other source games,
Let!
but they are exceedingly common in Portal specifically. And the fifth type of demos are simultaneously the most interesting, but most rare. Type 5 demos feature VR-like motion and appearances from the Umbrella Man and other bizarre entities. So far in this series, we've seen 3 Type 5 demos, nicknamed Sea Strike, Fortress, and Spooky Ghost. Remember how after recording a demo, that demo is saved onto your computer? Well, luckily, Adobe saved the files from the Counter-Strike and TF2 Type 5 demos, and has a link to download them in the description of this video, which means you can replay these demos for yourself in your own game. In the first episode, Adobe also discovers that the Interloper Man has the ability to generate maps. And the maps in these Type 5 demos aren't exactly the same as their base game counterparts, something we'll touch on later. After the first episode of the series is uploaded, Adobe states that viewers reach out to him about the VR-like movement in these types of games, meaning that it could be VR tech that is producing the demos. Adobe shuts that down because VR only captures the movement of your head and hands. However, in these Type 5 demos, the characters have full control of their entire movement, and the characters in the demos are also able to fully interact with their environment. Another suggestion Adobe received is that a cut source tool called the DM is responsible for the Type 5 demos. However, Adobe shuts this down as well, stating that they couldn't find any evidence of this existing and labels it as a hoax. However, keep this image in mind, as there's a lot more to this DM than you might think. Adobe tests warnings to see if they're compatible with interloper commands. Difficulty is fully functional. CSGO is unstable, but it works. And strangely enough, Dota works as well, as long as it's on the build of the game before Dota was ported to Source 2. What makes Dota 2 so fascinating is that, unlike every other game built on the Source engine, Dota 2 is not a first-person shooter. The camera hangs from the top down, which makes demos generated by Dota 2 much more unique. Fury's mod, the sandbox mod of Half-Life, isn't fully functional in its current build. However, there are other versions of Gmod that use a more stripped-back version of Half-Life as a base. So Gmod version 9 is fully functional with interloper commands. So far, this gives us 7 games to play with the interloper command. As time runs out to use the interloper commands, Adobe settles our portal to finish out the investigation.
Oh look, we got one. Look. Oh, what? Yeah, I know, right? Wait, I think it's the best thing there. It's weird. It's these two. Is that not weird? Oh,
No more. Love is a coding and it's all I take my bills.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. It's not very often that one of these web series like this is scary. Typically, I find them more interesting and scary as a concept. But the first time I watched this video, it got that. But let's rewind this. 15 seconds left on the clock. Character makes a drowning sound, and a series of messages appear in the chat box. The messages read, intent detection, and error. Always text. The error 405 in the programming when a user tries to do something that's not allowed, and Anomi loses connection to some sort of server after time runs out. The server is disconnected. So what exactly does Anomi do? After it is ever connected, this would allow particular commands to be used. After this connection, Anomi gains control of the camera. A hit in the source engine. Those are what is constantly determined how NPCs act. What's strange about what just happened is that you place no hits in the game edit. However, Anomi has just placed one while in the game. This no hit exactly matches what we see in the DM editor screenshot. So even though Anomi labeled it as a hoax, there's obviously more to this. And watch what happens after the no hit is placed down. The character in the Type 5 demo walks towards the note before coming to a complete stop when they reach it. Anomi has just unintentionally directed the NPC using this note. After interacting with the NPC, Anomi begins to explore the surrounding area. Of the umbrella man watching it from his head. And after, Anomi also sees a box shell that can very strange in the glass window. Just like in Tokyo Toast, the person in control of the game, Type 5 demo, isn't the normal protagonist, but instead, a mob. While examining Shell, you hear the umbrella man sound. He's making the time he runs to the umbrella man running past the wall. He lunges through a wall and Anomi while he's at the pause. Everything in the game should be at a complete stop. There's something really eerie about seeing something slowly approaching the camera while the game is supposed to be paused. After this, the umbrella man makes contact with the light. So you may expect this episode to end in the same place episode 1 was. The umbrella man erases all traces of the influence of the game, thus leaving us at a dead end of the episode. However, making direct contact with the umbrella man had more unexpected consequences. Watch what happens when Anomi tries to reopen Portal after his encounter with the umbrella.
right. Yeah. Portal Explorer is great.
The player moves into a game. Single point with an illuminated checkboard. Pitch black.
Dang.
After 10 seconds, the game crashes back.
I'm same as
When first loading in,
the age of
receive the message.
bruh.
No graph is out there.
The
No
age of
NPCs to move around the map.
the
Traced. Been removed by the umbrella. Even only an empty hut was once worked. The ends of this spell. However, we haven't explored everything we ever go back a lot. Going back. Actually, down they got it. I'm down with my copy of Power Grace. There are slight visual differences compared to the but it still works. But there is still a way to activate. But the normal source map feels eerie and liminal, but the maps generated by Q4 gives us it's no coincidence that these were the maps used for the ARG. For the most part, the maps remain untouched, but there's some details missing. Small things towards being sunny. In upper tunnels, a believer with the demo. The view model is essentially a model layer screen that holds your weapon, like an overlay. At the beginning of every Type 5 demo, you can see a view model spawn right where the player starts. Looking to where the Umbrella Man spawned in the demo, you can see a red arrow. To those not familiar with the source engine, these red arrow signs are used to represent further data on the level, but the model itself is missing, leaving this red sign in its place. After capturing the lead from NPC, the Umbrella Man has erased himself from the files of the game, leaving behind an arrow sign in his place. But things get very interesting when you go towards mid, a secondary place, in the demo. Here you'll also find a second movement arrows. Next to it, the model of the lead from the carrots. However, by decompiling the map's files, you can act as it in the hammer editor as well. You are able to fully explore the maps in the hammer and examine things with an even finer lens. When inspecting the area files that were the Umbrella Man, you can see that they are named captured, followed by random characters. This lines up with what they are seen doing in the Type 5 demos, capturing the NPCs and trying to reasonably correct. The model of the lead, which shows a big game, is shown as an error and examining it shows the file name is called DM NPC capture. What's especially important is that phrase, DM NPC. Obviously, NPC stands for not playing character. But what about the DM? Earlier, we saw a low-quality snapshot of something called the DM editor. And now this NPC that behaves entirely different to other NPCs has the same exact defects. It can't be a My theory is that the DM stands for dynamic. And the DM
Sit up 10. I'm just saying.
dynamic NPCs in these Type 5 demos. Going towards the view model in upper tunnel shows that it has the name the Husk. Considering that view models are just overlays placed onto your screen to simulate your character interacting with the world, it makes sense for it to be called
Full screen. I'm guessing what's not wrong.
to be able to fully interact with no view model necessary. Diving into the map's properties reveals a comment left by an unknown party. F-Sky, SBR-GEN. Perhaps it stands for F-Sky Server Generation. Largely seen
Are
as
we
service
Cromwell
and
and
mystery. Exploring the modified view also gives us more hints. When loading into the map, the first thing you notice is how pitch dark the map is.
See ya.
You need to use the council commands to be able to see anything at all. Another huge difference is that the map lacks proper sky mods, which causes this visual distortion effect that basically turns the whole screen into what it looks like when you win a game of solitaire. You weren't able to fully explore the map either. If you try heading down to the intelligence room where the demo takes place, this happens. This is the map People in Cubers. 3D renders of the map use reflections, which gives off this eerie effect. Remember how I said that the TNT Type 5 demo isn't accessible with the council command? Well, the way you access it is from this map, and the way you achieve it is very bizarre. On the red balcony, you can find a message written on the wall.
This is this.
Never mention of this mysterious abbreviation. We already saw in Dust 2. Approach the F-Sky symbol on the wall, and the demo activates. After the demo ends, it also activates the rebuilding cubes. Decompiling and diving into this map in the hammer editor just as many hidden messages. Just like the terrorist in Dust 2, the scout is also labeled as a dynamic NPC, showing another connection between the two Type 5s. Going towards the red balcony, you can also examine the inside logo more closely. The logo prop is named Fuck You. The map comment is, chicken shit administrators come in. Clearly, whoever left these messages is the least toxic TF2 player. Shut the fuck up! Next to the prop you can also see the trigger zone that starts the demo. And inside, you can see a player start icon. These don't show up in game, as they simply just tell the engine where to start the player in the map. The name for this player start is called
Bruh.
the tool. From the messages left in the map files, we can deduce that someone is very unhappy with something called F-Sky. However, we have no idea of what F-Sky is. But, by searching F-Sky on YouTube, we discovered the next big piece of the puzzle. This is a video uploaded by a channel called Ida Machinima Video Archive. It's a 2005 ad for a forum called F-Sky. It's a re-upload of Maria. I'll play the ad, we'll change the music to avoid copyright, and we'll pick it apart after.
Bakit ba? Gagawin mo. Ba't saan po ba kayo? Gagawin niyo ba kayo? Ba't hindi hirap-hirap?
Look, and we're but I'd like to point out the similarity between these entities and how the dynamic in these are a primitive version. If you watch real closely, you can see other similarities between black devils. You can see the outline of one of the mannequins stumbling before wildly bailing about in a manner similar. During this scene, you'll also see a check which is becoming
Saan kami pupunta? Apa? Bye. Pero kumain